Okay, we covering the story of the Metcalfs, and we're gonna get down to the bottom of it, you all. We're gonna break it down a little bit because some fishy about the Metcalfs, and we're gonna break it down. And y'all let me know in the comments, drop it down below in the chat. Let us know if I'm right or am I wrong. We're gonna get to it. The story we're gonna say basically, Austin Metcalf was at a track meet and Karmelo Anthony, he was at the track meet as well. While they was both at the track meet, it was raining that particular day. We just gonna give you a little backstory. It was raining that particular day, and so when it was raining, Carmelo, he decided to go under the tent. He seen probably the first tent he could see or whatever, and so he went under the tent. And so while he was under the tent, the boys came up to him, which was Austin and his brother Hunter, and they had a few other friends with them patrolling. So they seen Carmelo under the tent. So now, Bean, here we go. They come under the tent to let them know, hey, you don't need to be under this tent. You need to move. So he tell them basically, no, make me move, because I'm quite sure they probably said some stuff very disrespectful, just like the daddy said, and we're gonna see that in the breakdown when he say and some words was exchanged. I'm quite sure he was taking up for his boys, because at this point it seemed like Hunter, he can kind of go down for his brother's murder, because if it was in our community, then he probably be spending that time that they trying to get to Carmelo, they'll be getting it to Hunter, because you all came and started something and couldn't finish it. Kind of sound like it to me. But we're going to get down to it. So let's start with the story.
I mean, our relationship is really the tightest I've ever seen in somebody, like, between two human beings. I mean, we did everything together. Clean the dishes together, do the yard work together, sports. You name anything in the world, it's always us two and one thing. So you're
Keep in mind, he keep on saying we did everything together. Everything. So that means running up on Carmelo Anthony as well together. And just like the story, it's going to pan itself out, and it's going to show where they did everything together. So keep on watching and listening.
always just basically one person. He's always on my back. Even if I'm in the wrong, he'll always take my side no matter what. So it's just really heartbreaking to see someone that cares for you that much and does everything even by your side no matter what, just pass away like that.
Did y'all hear that when he said every time he get in the wrong, he always have his back? So in this particular breakdown, to me, it seems as if Hunter maybe started this fight. We just gonna keep on watching, but kind of sound like to me Hunter kind of started this fight, because he's saying he always had his back. He was always in the wrong, and Austin always took up for him anytime that he had an altercation, anytime he got out of line or something like that. Because in the breakdown, you're gonna see where his back was turned, so Hunter was getting out the way, because Austin maybe pushed his brother out the way to handle it, because he's the security, he's the handler, he the one who handled all the problems. So his brother Hunter is saying, you're gonna see what his daddy gonna say it, you're gonna see what his mother gonna say it. So let's keep on watching.
Always take my side no matter what. So it's just really heartbreaking to see someone that cares for you that much and does everything even by your side no matter what, just pass away like that.
I was so proud to have two sons, not just him, but two sons that do the exact same thing.
You heard that? Two sons, they do the exact same thing. Not only is he talking about playing the sports, but everything. Because did you hear when Hunter said they did everything? They washed dishes together. They did everything together. The daddy, his story is syncing with his son's story. They do everything together. They got in this fight together as well. Let's keep on watching.
My other son Hunter's like, Dad, I can't go on because Austin always had my back. I said, I know.
Yeah, he always had his back. Dad, I can't go on because Austin always had my back. Yeah, he had his back. That's why his back was turned and Austin was having his back. They gonna tell on themselves, and everybody wondering why Carmelo's not talking. Why Carmelo's not talking? The truth gonna speak for itself. It's unfolding. They done already told their truth, so Ray Charles can see this if you break it down.
Me, I know I'm a little more, spontaneous. I like to do stuff all around and just get out of line sometimes.
What do you mean by that?
Did you hear that? What did he mean by that? He likes to get out of line sometimes. And we gonna see that Austin always come to the rescue when he get out of line. Let's go.
And, Austin's always was there to check on me and keep me straight so I wouldn't get in trouble and do anything like that.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started.
Y'all see now where he's finna start telling the story what happened. What I said in the beginning, this is where that part unpans. So let's listen to it.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So. Yeah. He did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that? He did everything for their family. He was a strong man, a strong kid. Sound a little coerced, a little bit. Don't you think? He's trying to remember the line, so he's saying he was a strong man, strong kid, because he's trying to remember his line. Because remind you, he's still a kid. So, hey, all I got to say is the truth don't need no props. But see, you ain't going to remember that lie. You going to tell that lie, you going to forget that lie. But that truth, it going to keep on coming out the same way every time because that's the truth. Come on with it.
Strong. And I know I'm strong. And I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So. Yeah. He did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid. Mm-hmm. Real strong. And I know I'm strong too, but he's a little stronger. But I get upset. But then he calms me down. He was just always there for me. So it's just really heartbreaking to see how this happened. I've never met this kid until right then. It really was under 30 seconds, this altercation. I've never met this kid in my entire life.
Dude walks up, McKellen, bro.
Now this just a guy that was at the same track meet. And he's giving his partake on what unfolded. And from what we could tell from what he visualized from the distance he was at the track meet, it's adding up to the same story of them rolling up on Karmelo and telling him whatever they had to tell him, and the stories are syncing together. So the lies in between, catch them.
I've never met this kid in my entire life.
Dude walks up, McKellen, bro. He wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude.
How did it happen?
So it was a really bad storm in the morning, and they had a lot of delays. And me, my brother, a couple of kids were walking back from the field house of the middle school because we attended that middle school when we went to middle school, and we were saying hello to old coaches and catching up with them. And then we're walking back to our stand. We put our tent up. So
he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there.
All the bleachers were right there. Were not wet from all the rain. We come back. We sit down, and this kid said something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life. I never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for. And I turned around and asked him who he was. He started getting really aggressive.
Did you know Austin to have any enemies? Did Austin know this person?
No, they have no contact with this person ever before. I can tell you what happened. I know firsthand. I wasn't there, but I talked to my son.
Watch this. He said he could tell everybody what happened. He could tell what happened, but nobody else can tell because they wasn't there. But he could tell he wasn't there neither. But nobody else need to speak on it. But let's just see how it is. But he's so sure of himself right now because this is the story he painted to his son to put out there to the world. So we're gonna break it down. Let's listen to the father, Jeff Metcalf.
And everything, I know exactly how it all transpired. It was a multi-Frisco High School track meet. Many high schools were there. It started to rain, and they have their own little tent for memorial, and they were sitting there.
This kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move.
And someone was behind him mouthing off, and he turned around and said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Mello." He said, "Well, you don't belong here. You don't go to memorial." He had a Centennial tracksuit on. And he said, "You need to leave. This ain't your spot." And some words were discussed. I'm not going to say on camera
there was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless.
They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me?
You see that? They went over there to him because they seen him under the tent. Just as I said in the beginning, they seen him under their tent. And so they went over there to approach him. So why didn't y'all alert the police? But everybody want to sit here and get upset with Karmelo and say that he could have went and got somebody to de-escalate the situation, but they could as well have went and got somebody instead of themselves. They came over in their group and they was gonna bully him. But see, sometimes you don't know when you go to a fight. You know what you coming with, but you don't know what the next person coming with. Amen. So that's why you teach your kids, keep your hands to yourself.
One thing went from another. They grabbed him over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude.
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back and things.
My brother, he just stepped in. He being like he always being my brother. He just always having my back.
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back, and things started getting more like higher intensity.
So that let you know right there, it was his fight because his brother stepped in, being like he always be, always having my back, and things start getting high intensity. So what does that mean? Mama sitting here, watch mama, how frantic she looking for real because she didn't already coerce this story with him, and she trying to make sure it line up together. He trying to make sure it line up the way they told him to say it as well. His brother, remember, his brother always having his back, and things start getting high intensity because they said all of this happened in a matter of 30 some seconds. It happened so fast because they knew what they was coming to do. They was gonna come kick that guy out of the tent, and they didn't know that guy had some on him, which he had the right to carry in the state of Texas. They're in Texas. So if you're gonna be a bully, you need to know your laws as well, bullies. So that's another thing. So if you want to have a high career in bullying, for the ones who still here and still decide they want to bully, listen, if you know you have that bullying spirit about you, for the ones out there who's out there trying to make bullying a career, let me tell you all, if you're trying to make this a career, at least research your laws. So that way you start something with someone intentionally and they decide to defend themselves in a way that you didn't expect them to, and they get the best of you, it's kind of over with. So yeah, just keep that in mind, bullies. And for the other ones who maybe have been bullies and they may have seen themselves in those type of situations, and thank God that y'all are still here, do better. Don't do that no more. Don't go out there bullying nobody. Don't pick on nobody. Now if they pick on you, I'm quite sure that's what Karmelo parents told them. Somebody put their hands on you, then hey, you got the right to defend yourself. Especially in the state of Texas. Let's go.
He asked him to leave and basically said, make me. And then he wound up stabbing him in the heart and killing him.
And the kid said some like aggressive stuff, like reckless stuff, and also tried to handle the problem. And he stepped up over there, asked him to move, got aggressive, he grabbed the bag.
And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack.
It sounds like he went there looking for trouble. And that's the reason that he had a knife in his bag.
Now, this very controversial for me because this a guy I respect, and I don't know if he got on the bandwagon of selling out with black people at this point or whatever, because a lot of black people, they tired of black people. And black people, they gonna sit up here. It may throw a lot of controversialness in this, and I might not be saying it right, but that's my business. So I don't need the word polices to come after me with the words, because I'm country. But anyways, anywho, black people that did their research, that they didn't dig the homework, they didn't got healed, they didn't did a lot of things that they want to do to get their internal spirit right and stuff like that or whatever, and they have these different platforms, and the more they try to put out there the good, you still have those who gonna attack. And so to me, this guy, he's a guy, to me, a upstanding guy. He pretty much get his research and stuff like that, but this time he got it wrong. And I'm thinking he only got it wrong because he's just getting on the bandwagon of, you know what, you can't beat him, join him. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. I will sit up here and I'll try to give y'all the information, give y'all the knowledge, and y'all still fight it. So guess what? I'm going to just do what y'all do, say what y'all say, but I'm going to get the healing. I'm going to get what I need. I'm going to get my information, my sources correct, but I'm going to feed y'all what y'all want to hear. And y'all just pay me a bunch of dollars. I don't even care no more. I'm just going to say whatever y'all want to hear. Same thing that we going to show with Charleston White. When Charleston White get on here, same thing, because Charleston said he couldn't wait to sell out. So hey, he done made his mark. Everybody know Charleston. They tried to ban him, blackball him, whatever it is that they tried to do to him or whatever. And he didn't resurface, got back. And you know, I followed Charleston for a long time, and you know, just seen some of his conversations. And you know, he spoke a lot of truth in it. But you know, he also said, hey, when I get the opportunity to sell out to black people, I'm gonna do it too, because guess what? I'm tired of y'all. Just what I said about him. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. Y'all just want to hear what y'all want to hear, so I'm gonna just say what y'all want to hear, but I'm gonna know the truth. And if y'all want me to sell y'all a lie, I'm gonna sell y'all a lie, because that's all y'all want to hear, a lie. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. If y'all hear the truth, here I got burning trees coming through my door. I don't have time for that. So guess what? I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all want to hear. So black people, sometimes you gotta sit and be still and listen and wonder why people saying certain things, whether it's good or bad. Why people saying certain things? Sometimes asking the whys be very helpful in your life. We're gonna get back to this, but that's the reason why he's on here, and just to show y'all how sometimes us black people, we could just switch. Sometimes you gotta get your own research, and I keep saying your own healing, because in reality, we got to be spiritually healed, y'all. That's another story, but we're going to get down to this story right here. I'm sorry.
And he pulled the knife out of his bag, looking to make sure. It's almost like I'm inciting a situation where somebody can confront me so that I can make sure that I do something to him, and then I can claim self-defense as a result of it. He went there looking for trouble. He went there with a knife on purpose.
How did he go there looking for trouble when he was on the roster, you all? If you can go back and see that Karmelo was actually on the roster for that day. Their dad gonna make it seem as if, oh, they was there just protecting their belongings, basically. They could do what they did. They can question somebody, anybody, but nobody can question them. Nobody can defend themselves. Child boo.
And he reached in his bag and then he stabbed that boy in his chest. And then he tried to justify it by saying, well, it was self-defense.
He goes under the tent intentionally to provoke a confrontation, so then he has a reason to stab somebody.
Why take a knife and go sit in the tent then? They so-called bullying. Why do that? Because it's looking like you starting something now.
It just seems like he was looking for something to go off, something to happen, regardless of how, if the twin said something or the other twin said something. To me, he was looking for something to happen.
We asked him to move.
How was he looking for something to happen? That's the part from in the beginning when I said some of us got on the bandwagon and just sellouts. Because how did this boy go looking for something to happen? If you know the backstory, this is a 3.7 GPA carrying student, first of all. He has 2 jobs, so he's out in the public pretty much every day of his life because he's still a child that's in school. So he's amongst all kind of people, including the Metcalfs. And you see how they came up and approached the guy because he was sitting under their tent. He was trying to get dry, but they say he was under their tent and they went over there to tell him to move. What you just gonna tell somebody to move if y'all practicing kindness like your dad told y'all to do? Like he's telling the world to do, practice kindness. But your boys are not practicing kindness. They sitting up there, they going up to people because what? They the police? So you gotta read into these stories. Let's just keep going.
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack.
They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude.
He was my big baby. He was 225 pounds.
Did you hear that? He was her big baby, 225 pounds. And the brother was the exact same. Looked like was actually bigger on all the pictures that you see. The brother even bigger. So if he's 225, then that's right here must be 230. And then this Karmelo Anthony guy, he's at least 5'9" and at least 160 pounds. So this a smaller fella compared to 225 pound boys. So we know that at least 450 pounds of weight compared to 160 pounds of him. Dang right, that boy needed to protect himself. That was an unfair fight. He was my big baby, 225 pounds. Yeah, that's what his mama said. His mama said that. Let's keep going.
Both of them big boys. My son doing the right thing by telling that boy that he needed to be removed from where he was.
How was he doing the right thing by telling that boy that he needed to be removed from where he was? He was under the tent. It wasn't his tent. Y'all didn't buy the tent. The school purchased the tent, so had he needed to be removed, the grown adults who was in charge should have done that. But everybody want to say why Karmelo Anthony didn't get anybody. Why didn't they? They are the same 17-year-old boys. Come on, make it make sense. Double standards.
When this guy was just sitting in the wrong spot and they asked him to move.
He was just sitting in the wrong spot. So if he was just sitting in the wrong spot, why y'all come messing with him? What it was hurting y'all? But nobody want to sit up here and talk about how these boys came up there and bullied Karmelo and asked him to move. Y'all first came up to him. That let you know that y'all approached him. Y'all asked him to move. To move. That's all you keep on here. They just asked him to move. No, they went over there aggressively. Some words were said. And yeah, told me to move. I probably would have said some stuff back to you too. But we're not gonna get into all that. We're gonna focus on the facts of this story. And this story is that those boys came up to Karmelo and asked him to move. They did all the approaching, but everybody want to sit up here and point fingers at Karmelo, and he's supposed to just get beat down, I guess. I thought it was a free country. It's raining outside, and you teach your kids kindness and practice kindness and this, that, and the third or whatever. Seems to me that your kids out here are practicing evilness. They're not being kind. They're not allowing people to stand on their tent. Obviously, it was a rainy day. Your son even said it. They had the tent set up for the girls. So why y'all coming over there being hush mouth, hush mouth, hush. Let's keep going.
And then I whip my head around, and then all of a sudden I see him running down the bleachers, grabbing his chest. Just blood rushing out. He said, "Yo, you got stabbed. You got stabbed." First, I froze for half a second. I didn't know what to do, and then I saw him.
And I want to say this as well. Please forgive me, but a moment of silence for Mr. Austin Metcalf. Okay, I first want to say this was an unfortunate situation. Even though I'm covering this story and I may have been a little aggressive in my tone of voice in delivering this message, but at the end of the day, this is a 17-year-old son. I have a 15-year-old son, almost 16. So I do understand. And you don't know how your kids are out here in this world. You can teach your kids all of these good morals in life, but they're gonna still grow up and they're gonna be whoever it is they chooses to be in life. And I get that. I get it. And I do understand these people are hurting, the Metcalfs, and they want someone to pay for it. Their brother, their sons was lost. Unfortunately, they're hurting. So I do get it. And then in this situation, to me, to be honest with you, it's looking like Hunter should be the one on stand for him. I'm gonna be the first to say it. It looks like because I haven't heard anyone else say it yet. And someone may have. And if they did, drop it in the chat. It looks to me as if how this story really panning out, that Hunter's supposed to be on trial for his brother's murder because they are the ones who initially attacked. Had they not did what they have done, Karmelo would have never pulled that knife out and stabbed him. He was only protecting himself. Yes, I wanted to say all that to say, I do really deeply and truly feel sorry for the Metcalf family, and my hearts and prayers and my thoughts go out with their family, because when one hurt, we all should hurt. We should hurt for one another, because just as the father said, he don't wish that on anyone. And I do get it, because that's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, to lose a child, to bury a child. So I do get it. I do get the grief that they're feeling or whatever. I just want to say my deepest condolences goes out to the family. I just pray that they stay strong, lifted, and they use this situation and turn it around for something positive, and the world can turn this whole situation around for something positive, and we start shining light on one another and start sticking together and be more of a peaceful people. So yeah, we're gonna get back to the story.
I fall. I would go over there. I grabbed him. I see. Let's go. I pushed my hand on there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
For what I heard, he was unresponsive for 5 minutes. They were able to revive him a little, but I think it was too little too late.
Mind you, carrying a knife. Multiple times they got in trouble by having a knife. Suspended for having a knife.
Now, we're going to say these just the naysayers, because this just he say, she say stuff. This is nothing that they have proven that Karmelo did. But these are things that we are putting out here because I don't know. I don't know how you can. I don't know. Let's just keep going. Hush mouth.
Allegedly, this kid had already gotten in trouble before for bringing a knife to school. Allegedly, he's not even supposed to be at the track meet. And then how?
They're saying all of this different stuff allegedly, and putting all these different narratives out about Karmelo, and they didn't even fact check it. And once we get down to the facts of it, everything that they was allegedly saying and putting out to the world, everything allegedly was false. And we're gonna get down to it. We're gonna get down to the bottom of how they was saying all of this stuff allegedly, listen to all the alleged, and then see some of the facts.
He end up under another tent full of white kids and end up getting in a conversation where he's stabbing one of them and killing them.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
We want to see a nigga get smoked on TV. We don't want to see a white man get smoked. We want to see another nigga get smoked. We wake up every day to kill another black person. White people can do to us whatever they want to do with us, homie. White people can wake up tomorrow and kill 5 innocent black babies, rape 5 innocent black women at church, and won't nobody die.
A few moments later.
Oh, black people, y'all wrong, and no wonder God got you cursed. I'm starting to think that curse on us is real, that the Hebrews say. This group hearts is tasteful. This is a kid with some trauma. Let's get the background story first.
I feel sorry for him because I know it wasn't no heavy male presence in his life. I don't even know his situation, but I can tell you he didn't have a strong male presence in his life.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
What do you mean by that?
Now these are all pictures of him with his family, and especially the male role model that they say he doesn't have. His dad obviously plays a major role in his life. So sometimes, just like I said in the beginning, it doesn't matter what kind of background you have. You don't know what your kids might do when they're not in your presence. You just have to keep your kids prayed up in this world, to be honest. All of the allegedly and this, that, and the third or whatever, cut it out. This young guy, he had his father in his life, his mother, and they was actually together. And his other 3 siblings they had 4 kids together, obviously. And he came from, what I see, a pretty decent living situation, but that's the outside looking in. You don't know how people deal with trauma, anger issues, and this, that, and the third or whatever. But the same difference with the Metcalf family, because you're going to notice that their family is not even together. But they are trying to keep it hush-hush, because when we going to see where the guy going to say something of the nature of your husband in the background, and she going to know, yeah, you trying to keep it hush-hush. What else are you hushing? Let's just keep going. I just wanted to bring that up so we could be on the same page. Why these pictures are in effect.
I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side.
You hear that? I seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear on the side. And you're going to see where she ended up saying that's not a husband, and the brother going to hush, hush, hush his mama. Now we're wondering what else you hush, hush, hushing. Watch him.
By the way, I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else.
What do you mean by that?
I guarantee that this what she's saying right now. If that was a black teen and another black teen, she wouldn't even have got on here and did none of this. Guarantee she wouldn't have got on here, did any of this, said anything, none of that.
Let me tell you something. If it was the black student that had the high GPA and he was the leader of the football team and he had got stabbed, I guarantee you black people would overrun that entire school. If it was the other way around and it was a black kid, I'm telling you, you would have everybody and their mama. This would be the biggest story on social media.
Let's say Austin killed Karmelo. Is it self-defense now, black people?
If it was the roles reversed and the white kid stabbed the black kid, it'd be hell. For them to raise $150,000 for this kid is insane to me. And what it speaks to, in my opinion, is the racism that's involved in this. Because if that young black boy would have killed another black boy at a track meet, we wouldn't hear about it. There would be no GoFundMe. There would be no, oh, we need to stand with him. It's because he killed a white kid.
There are people that are raising money for this individual, over $160,000.
I see a lot of people talking online how they raised over $250,000 up to $300,000 as a recording of this video for that boy's defense, but they're only doing it because he's a black boy. If it was the other way around, there's no way that they would even be having this conversation about whether or not he defended himself or not. They would absolutely 100% be looking at it objectively.
You guys set up a GoFundMe, and a lot of people have really come to the aid of your family.
Now, everybody in controversy of the Anthony family raising money, GoFundMe, and this, that, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it's just too much. Everybody getting upset because he raised the money, and then it was said that one of the GoFundMe was asked to be taken down, and they took it down, and they had to go to another website and create it, and just giving them a hard time. But with the Metcalfs, they're raising money, and every time they get over the amount, they go higher, 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 and nothing said about it. They just saying it's a blessing and it won't bring their son back, which is true. But no one is asking them to explain themselves as well. Crickets?
I am overwhelmed. I had no idea the response that this generated.
This is their GoFundMe on different accounts. They didn't know what it would generate. On this particular one, they was at 92% finish. This was one of the first ones. But no one's saying anything about this, but they giving the Anthony family so much hell about them raising it. Even got black people going against black people. It's sad. Number 2. Number 3. In all, they have raised over $500,000. No one's saying anything.
We just pray that this doesn't happen again to someone else. Unfortunately, I get to be the example. But, you know, we have to try to turn negatives into positives. And he was a great kid, and he impacted a lot of lives. I'll never forget him, and neither will a lot of other people. So, community-wise, talk to your kids, teach your kids. It all starts at home. I know this world has changed. I'm old school. It's a different world. It's unfortunate, but we all have to evolve. And if we all don't come together, black, white, yellow, brown, I don't care. It's all about human beings. We gotta care about each other. We gotta be kind to each other. You need to show compassion, show empathy, not anger, not rage. Teach your kids the right from wrong. And pray to God this doesn't happen to yours.
Teach your kids more of respecting somebody.
So yeah, y'all. This is gonna wrap it up for today's story. So drop it in the comment. Y'all done heard the story. Y'all done seen how the Metcalf family switched up a couple of them. Y'all done heard the story. Y'all done seen how the Metcalfs told their sides of the story on several different occasions. So we done broke it down for you all. Drop it in the comments. I know we're gonna have the naysayers or whatever, but we're not listening to that. But drop it in the comment. Let's be real. Let's be raw. Let's be honest about it. And let's keep it at peace. Share what your partake is. Which version of the story did you hear? Did you even hear any of this information before I even put it out here? Or did you just hear from your local news stations? What potentially happened or whatever, and the sides that was edited out, did we cover it or whatever? Just drop it below in the comments. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend and tell a friend that we have a station out here that's dropping the truth. We're going to get both sides of the story, and then we're going to meet in the middle and see what's the truth. Because it's always three sides to the story. It's one person's side, the other person's side, and then the truth. So that's what we're about over here. We're about listening to both sides and figuring out what's the truth, what lies between the lies. Drop it in the comments. Comment, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Peace.